mimi chakula ya bwanangu lazima ipikwe na mimi specifically.
Mutumia gadha.
My mom, they were besties even before I knew him.
Una overdo.
Ati tufanye. Kufanya inakaa.
Mambo ilikuwa hivyo.
Welcome to One on One with Kajim, where real people share real stories that inspire and transform. From raw truth of the highs and lows of marriage to business, street smart tactics from founders who cash the checks and the powerful voices behind humanitarian change, Kajim sits down with the people making it happen. New episodes drop every Monday and Thursday. One on One with Kajim, where every conversation hits home.
Hello my good people, I'm joined today by one of Kenya's most loved couples. Mume wa ulizia. Ever guess ni akina nani? Of course is none other than the Peekays. They are here. They have inspired many with their love, their content. Milka. But today we go deeper. We talk about love, we talk about faith, growth, and real work behind a strong marriage. From untold stories to fun moments, this episode is raw, refreshing, and real. Ladies and gentlemen, help me to welcome none other than the Peekays. Tuwapigia makofi!
Hata si wenye tunajipigia makofi.
Mwanze mumeuliziwa.
Oh, thank
Shukran,
you so
man.
much.
Thank you for the love. Thank you guys for the love. We appreciate it.
People love you, by the way.
Oh, we love you
People
right
love
back.
you.
We thank God, man. Thank God that we get to an opportunity to affect people in a positive way.
Yes.
That's what we pray to God, that also as we preserve us, that at least that which people see in us and see it's desirable.
Yes.
That it shall not be. You know, naye shetani pia wako kazi. Mungu akifanya kazi yake, naye shetani naona how can I now bring this
naeza
down?
ingilia aje hapa.
Na hiyo tumekataa.
And we love you guys right back.
Yeah.
Sasa mnataka kuniambia mmetoka Peekays Paradise.
Straight to
Yeah, na tunasema hiyo pole pole. Yeah.
Hebu tuanze hapo. Like you guys, you stayed somewhere for, you are telling me for how many years before you went to Peekays Paradise?
So, backstory that we love to grow. Like
Yes.
we can't stay in the same place for forever.
Yes.
So when we got married, we were staying in a one-bedroom house.
Yes.
Then in the same block, you need a flat
Yeah, the same apartment.
So one of the neighbors alikuwa na hama because ilikuwa na side moja ya one bedroom na two bedroom. So akasema na hama wa two bedroom. Tukasema basi now we want to grow.
Yes.
Na tukihost mtu tuna space ya kulala. So let's now move to a two bedroom. So in the same apartments we moved to a two bedroom. Tukakaa hapo for what? A year?
Yeah, the timelines I'm not, but Miguel was born there in
Yes.
that house.
So that's around a year and a half to two.
Yes.
Then we moved. Now to a bigger house. Around what's three
Yeah,
BR.
3 master and suit.
3 months. Now we moved now to a 3 bedroom.
Yes.
Master and suite.
Sasa hapo ndo mlitulia.
Sasa hatukutulia hapo. So tukiwa that was around 2019. 2018-2019 we moved to that now the hiyo kwa master and suite because just before tulimove kule kwingine after
The
COVID or before
timelines,
COVID.
maybe we wouldn't remember the timelines.
Yes. Now from now that house we moved now to a mansion now.
In 2021 July.
Yes. Hapo ndio tulikaa for like 3 years.
Hapo nayo tulikaa.
3 years hapo tulikaa hapo. But now hiyo ilikuwa I think the reason why tulikaa hapo sana ni because we were just coming out of COVID. You know what happened to COVID?
Yes,
Because
yes,
the jobs zilikatwa nini there was no kuna biashara, so I think that's the reason. But immediately after 3 years again now we moved now to the paradise.
We can't wait to see in the next 3 years tutakuwa wapi.
Yeah,
Mimi mtakuwa
by the
hii
way,
mzaika
we don't-
sasa.
God.
Atukaangi mahali
We
pamoja
just
for
cast,
long.
you know, eka macho yako tu kwa Mungu mwambie I want, because something we have learned over time
Yes.
is faith, because we don't. Last Sunday in church pastor mwenye kwa preach alisema the easiest thing for God to give you is money.
The easiest thing.
For God to give is money, because again the Bible is very clear that he owns silver and gold.
Yes.
And cattle on 1,000 hills, not 1,000 cattle on a hill, like cattle on 1,000 hills. We don't know how many.
Yes.
So you anaweza compare as you please.
The world
But you
belongs
now
to
have
him.
to, but you have to also surrender yourself to him, ndio yield to him, ndio akupe. Because like now, I give an example. Today, if Miguel told me that he wants to go to Egypt, but then you can button a shule today, the students are going to South Africa tomorrow,
Yes.
and we need 700,000. Nikiangalia account saizi, naweza kuhesi ni odo. But guess what? Ataenda.
Yeah.
I don't need to say ati guys, mimi, I don't think I'll go acha Miguel abaki nyumbani, sini hiyo pesa, hapana. Ataenda. That's how God operates. Because I don't want at any one point that Miguel will say, my colleagues went to a certain place, na sikuweza kwenda because daddy hakunilipia. So I will do everything. So God has everything in possession. Ukitaka ukikuwa tu kwake ukwe son, yani ukwe tu a son, atakwambia. Unataka gari?
Ndio hii.
Ndio hiyo.
Kwa hivyo ni everything that we don't have is because we have not asked.
Itisha,
Yes.
pata. Itisha. Why do you think that verse is there? Itisha,
Pata.
Sasa pia wewe uliitisha huyu mrembo.
Hey.
You know guys, they don't know. I think tumeongea sana behind the scene and more reason as to why nikaamua wacha niwalete today on one. Tumeongea sana behind the scene about how you guys met. And I know my audience, my viewers are asking, how did you guys meet? Because their love, hata sitaki kuingilia sana because naweza jipata nikimwambia umesahau ile patia. Wacha sasa yeye mwenyewe atuambie. Because if there is a person that is so patient, na mwenye nimeona that is so patient with love, is this man. This guy is so patient.
What are you saying?
Yeah, what are you saying?
No, but he waited for you.
Yeah. So, but there's always a hate and has version that, like they always say.
Yes.
But for me, the story begins back in the village because we are neighbors, by the way.
Gishagi.
Let's begin from it's from uko Gishagi. We are neighbors. Like we meet neighbors here, one block of land next. Wow, that's it. Period. So one afternoon, I can't remember which day. Me, I'm just chilling. So at home and in our living room, there's one window that overlooks now. Wow.
Yes.
And funny enough, it focused on their pit latrine is somewhere elevated.
Ile choo ya blue.
Sasa now we had not hatuko tumeka huko ati sana. So like the live fences, the kai apple and those trees were not long that they would shield now. Even because you are not moved huko kabisa for long. So now from our window I could see. Now today I cannot see.
Yes.
Because there are trees and everything else. But then I could see. So I'm just chilling, easy there. They had just come from the city, now Nairobi then. One of the aunties had a wedding. And so she's moving from the house, the homestead, the house, main house, to the pit latrine. So me, I see, hey, what did I see? And that's how it began. But now, interestingly, that was only between me, myself, and I. Na ikaishia hapo.
Yes.
But haikuisha, ilikaa tu ndani yangu. Because yeye, ni mtoto, ni kama hata vile unaenda tu mahali, une mtoto wa mtu, you can't start. How will the mom, no, the mom was my best friend. I mean, what will she make of me by such thing? Oh, I've seen your daughter, blah, blah, blah. So I chose, wacha ikae tu hivyo, life iendelee, masomo, nini, na tukisonga.
So sasa hii time yote unamuona tu lakini ndani yako kuna kakitu.
What happened, sema kalikuwa kakitu but kalikuwa subconscious. Ni ile naweza ona like I can unamsa hizi nikienda town like you can see somebody good looking girl.
Yes.
But the story ends there.
Yes.
But ndio kuna wale wenye wanaonanga na pia anaanza you go beyond like somebody is just standing there for lack of better word.
Kama unaona Milka venye
ana undress.
Ile
Wale watu wanasema ngati you see a girl ama kwa event kama kwa harusi.
Yes.
Asimamia hapo. Let's say ushamuona, oh she's nice looking. Aitaishia hapo.
Yes.
In your mind ushaanza hadi kumtoa nguo. Then I'm like, you know those moments that happen, they are there. So yangu ilikuwa why nasema hivyo, it's because again me seeing her was activated later when now we were sent by mom to take one of the cousins
Together.
to school. Yeah.
My
it up from
mom-
there.
Yeah. My mom, they were besties even before I knew him.
Yes.
Oh.
So ni ile your neighbors but kuna huyu kijana anakuja kusaidia like mnabonga tu. As a matter of fact, my mom saved him Kiama-san on her phone, on her contact. Like ukiangalia ni Kiama-san. No, the way you save your mom, what.
Yes.
His name was saved as Kiama-san even before I knew who Kiama was. So now my version.
Now give us a version.
So now mi najua kuna Kiama, kuna Bob. There are 3 brothers. And, you know, the way you know my neighbors.
Yes.
Kuna Kiama, Karinga, Jusa, the mom is called Mama Karinga. Na kuna Kiama, Karinga, and Morris.
Yes.
But I've never, the only people I used to see sana ni Bob, Karinga huyo sasa, na Morris. Hao ndio nilikuwa na interact nao. But sasa huyu Kiama,
I was traveling a lot.
Yeah, he used to be.
Son used to travel.
I used to travel a lot.
Son used to travel a lot, and when I'm not there is when he's there. When I'm there, yani tuko tuna
conflict of interest.
so siko namjua sana, ile tu nasikianga kuna Kiama. So this Kiama one day got beaten by our dog apparently.
Yeah, the dog went rogue. So I just come, I think, from my grandmother's place.
Yes.
In
akikuja
Barkingston. I was Barkingston back then. So I just came home and I thought, let me go and say hi to my bestie.
Yes.
So then the dog decided to go rogue and turned on me. Ikaniuma hapa. Hey.
So Zuembe ilipoumwa, my mom was a nurse. My mom passed on in 2018.
Yes.
But she was a nurse. She was the nurse who used to nurse like every...
She was the community nurse.
Yes.
Daktari.
Daktari. Sasa unaona ni ana mdress.
Yes.
Ni bestie wake anyway. So akikuja nilikuwa naona huyu ndio Kiama ule wa sasa wa Mama Karinga. Sasa ameumwa, aliumwa nini na ikaendelea tu hivyo like, but hapo ndipo nilimjua. But for me it was nothing. Now the other interaction was when we were finding you a what?
A match.
A match. We were matchmaking for you. Because we thought, huyu Kiama amekaa sana tujaiona girlfriend or anyone. So
they had colluded with my brothers.
Yes.
Yeah, to get me a girl from, because she was in a girls' school. That was Narumoro Girls. Yeah.
Narumoro Girls. And actually we found.
Sorry.
I don't know where mlifikishana. Utatuambia.
We never even talked.
Yeah, because nilimtafutia my decamate. Alikuwa anaitwa Beatrice.
Sasa that unajua ni ile unaambiangwa na unasema unaambia nataka kwenda kwa nimejua kwa msichana ni hapa Muthaiga.
Yes.
But now because I stay hapa Kamiti Road, it's short ama ninashikia Kiambu Road, ni rahisi nipande AR niingie hivyo. But now I will not do that. I'll go back to Kiambu. Shika bypass nikatokea huko gatawa Kenyatta Road ni sana kiafika road. Yani making it longer ndio unajicompose. What will I say? What if they ask me this? How will I answer that question? So the same thing you unasema.
So at that time did you have two feelings? Because zimeanza kudevelop.
Sinikwambia mimi vile nilikuona ilikuja subconsciously, but siku that's when nimekipenda hiyo example ya siku na extend kufikiria by the way we can make a good match.
Kalikata kugrow kakatu hapo, kalikata kujaminate.
Sasa kalika hapo na kaka kutoka.
So lakini time interact because time na kutafutia Beatrice, we actually interacted on a one-on-one with PK, not with Kajim. You are the one-on-one with PK. That's when we actually ever interacted ile ya ukweli.
Yes.
So hii time yote unanindo Kiama bado.
Siko huko hiyo time. Niko mbali hiyo time.
Na Beatrice ulikuwa na
sasa niko nasikia mkiongea story ya Beatrice na nini nashangaa.
I even had them exchange passports.
Allah.
Yeye nikachukua kale kapicha si ndio? Nikachukua kake nipe Beatrice na Beatrice ampe yake ndo muanze kuonana.
Sasa now nimekumbuka what was happening. So now me my mind was working so fast. So I'm thinking, so what in God's green earth are these people thinking at mnafikiria that you can take passports and try and match to put together? So now in a very different light. So namwangalia na shanga, who is this? The same person I saw. Nikajiambia, I'm not sure about this. And what so I cut.
But you were inside of it, babe. Ulikuwa ndani kabisa, like you are the nini. When you ulikuwa na head kwanza hizo conversations.
But not just I could head them lip service.
But
my mind is
may change. You are actually a part of the go.
No, me, I was not part of it because I was not there. Even have hizo hangouts because na kina Morris na me, I was never there. Either I was, because me, I'm a firstborn.
Yes.
So I could either, when there is no time, even my mom, I can say, I was ever at a place where tumechill tunapiga story kama hizo, unless on a night. Because me, I have to think ahead najiuliza. Now, nikikaa hapa, home kunafaa kufanya kitu. Sasa nisipofanya,
so hii time wenye unatafutiwa Beatrice. Wewe ushamaliza high school hiyo time?
Siko nimemaliza. What happened, because nakumbuka mkienda mlituacha, mlikuwa mnafungua like the schools had open on Tuesday, others wanafungua Wednesday. Because the next day nakumbuka all of us, including Boni, tulibebwa na gari ya one of the neighbors wada matatu there. Na ilikuwa imejaa because most people walikuwa naenda, so tuli have kupanda huko juu.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, tulipandia huko juu, tukabebwa huko juu.
Anyway, the long and short of it is I tried matchmaking him with, but the first time I saw him, he was beaten by a dog. They were besties with my mom. Tried finding a match for him. And then now one day, my mom sends us to take our cousin to school. Kulikuwa na shule ilikuwa hapo, and our cousins walikuwa wamehamia hiyo
former school.
Yeah, former school.
Yeah.
So I mean, my mom trusted and loved Kiama kabisa. Like mpeleke your cousin to school.
Yes.
Now that's when my eyes were opened, because he gave me his vision of what he would love a family to look like. And I'm like, actually, I would love to be part of that family. Of course, not as a daughter.
Sasa mpaka for long niko namuita baby sister sasa.
Imagine.
Okay, so ile wa rich.
Alikuwa baby sister.
Sasa na hiyo story niko na sometimes namuita hivyo. Now later inamsumbua sana. But now me niko accustomed to that because like I've saying, ukirudi nyuma niko nafikiria sana niambia best yangu ajamwambia ati niko I'm in your same compound, nishakuja hapa nichana na msichana. Hiyo discussion itaendaje? Siko najua how it will go.
Yes.
So point is so I had that aspect of now because to go siko sure, so let me try and see, you know, you're like my kid sister, like and then you start na aimfurahishe hata kidogo.
Yeah, but anyway, that journey is when I would say began our love story.
That walk
That
to
walk
take the cousin to
how many
school and
kilometers
back.
was it?
3 kilometers.
3
Oh.
kilometers.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we went to Lenda na Mat.
Yeah, but we walked
back. And I remember you had a grey hoodie and some blue jeans.
Hey. Na mama alireceive aje hizi stories?
Mom said hiyo siku ananituma alikuwa night shift. So we went tukampeleka and we had that conversation now on our way back.
Also my mom is ayuko kwa hizo lines. Unajua he's a friend of the family kabisa. He's a son.
Alikuwa hapo.
Na ile time yenye alikuja kujua like you are dating.
So the time alikamkujua actually ni when we went to nini for Rashio, si ndio?
No, we went to say.
Yeah.
We went to tell her. Yeah. So me, what I don't know, she never told me this. Whether at all in all those many meetings on times we would stay there, that I suspect. Unajua wazazi sometimes wana suspect but najuanga tu ni sawa tu. Because kuna time tungeenda home tukae hapo tubaki hapo tunapiga story ama tunafanya kitu kitchen. Anamaliza ndiye anaenda kulala na tuacha hapo.
Naacha sana.
Naacha the wolf and the sheep.
Sasa sijuangi kama alikuwa na whether she knew or she had an idea.
Maybe idea or suspect. I don't know.
That one she never shared.
That one.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I wish she was here. I would have asked her that question.
That was nice.
Did you ever? Yeah. Like, did you ever suspect anything?
Yeah, because hata alikuwa toka job na tupata huko. Yani there are so many. There are so many indicators.
You know, right? I wish I would.
No, it's like the same thing now because you are parents.
Yeah.
How you could know Miguel.
Yeah.
Akona kitu. Unajua we used to
Yeah.
think like wazazi wetu hawaelewi.
But they
But
know.
they are ahead.
But you see, like now for an example, venye maybe kina baby sister wanakujanga, sleepovers, like I'd never.
Now, at this age, it's hard to tell. But I'm saying when they are of age, like now they're teenagers,
Kwanza
you
nyinyi
will
venye
tell.
mko na vijana na venye unajua tuko in the same
Yeah,
category ya boys.
You will tell.
Boys.
You will tell.
Anyway, I wish she would have been here to tell us that.
But what I
one
know-
thing I know
Hey.
is that she was very, very happy because she loved this guy with everything in her. Yani alikuwa nakupenda. Yani hata the first, maybe kukiwa na crisis, na ushago venye maybe mse wa job ameenda. Like the first call would be to him.
Son.
Alikuwa anampenda kabisa. Yani walikuwa tu na
Tell me, it
beautiful
was
relationship.
it was God.
It was ordained.
ordained from heaven
So,
that this is how it will be.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Now looking at your temperaments, both of you,
Yeah.
you are very different.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Kiama is quiet. Hapa tuko na ma-MC wawili hapa wamekaribiana hapa. How did you balance the temperaments between nyinyi wawili?
I think God anajuanga tu how to balance watu, because I have an element of understanding hiyo side yake ya why she's out and bubbly in that way, because I think my temperaments, the dominant one, sometimes you sabna ingine, so I'm a sanguine flag, so it can alternate, because sometimes when I will choose to the next quarter I want to be very disciplined and not forget things. So that means now my sanguine part will be more dominant the ingine. So no, because she's more of a sanguine, I tend to understand now that side, your side yake, so nampea hiyo space. So mahali tupatanangi ni hapa hiyo side yake ya choleric na flag, hapo ndio tupatanangi, we never agree. But hiyo ingine mi sina issue nayo na that her nature, although sometimes it has its own disadvantages, sometimes advantages. Because sometimes tuko mahali kwa watu namwambia we agreed, no, hata tulia, hiyo iko sawa, we agreed we're supposed to leave and go back and ensure that maybe we go and attend to the boys. Guess what, we'll not even go. Na siwezi mwacha. So I wish now naweza kufanya hizo TikTok ama kwa reel wanamwagilia gari maji, una duplicate zikuwe mbili, kwambia kuna gari bacha hapo, ukuje nao ukimaliza. Because mimi maybe I'm more inclined to, I want to run home.
Yes.
And go and do
You are
homework.
programmed.
I want to go and do homework with Miguel. So I am very orderly. I know I can cut what's happening in social circle and go. But now I also have an obligation, like nikimwacha hapa ni drive off niende, sasa nakuuliza mbona uliniacha? Haelewi, yani aonangi hiyo patia ako everywhere.
Milka.
Manze.
How do you deal na sasa ye
But Kajim naweza kumuunderstand, because Kajim anahanga na nini.
But he's more of a choleric. Your Nini side
No,
is
he's more of a
choleric.
sanguine. In fact, he scored highest when we were doing the ninis.
Me am a sanguine.
Yes. Because
But your
he
highest
scored the
is
highest.
choleric. You're a
Sanguine.
50-50.
Yes.
You're a 50-50.
I strike the balance.
Now me, my
Now
sanguine
he's more anasema he's more of a sanguine, but
No,
he has
he's
managed
more of
to
a
strike a
choleric.
balance.
Guy, Kajim.
Eh,
Kajim,
tata
the
tukifanya.
tuambie juu sasa we'll be arguing when you are here.
Eh,
Mimi, I'm a sanguine.
yes.
But a sanguine who is, I don't think someone remains in the same temperament. I think
Your
with
choleric
time,
is
unaendanga uki-change, depending, I think, na vitu mob. Like now, where I am right now, the fact that I am employed, ilini shape because of the timings, that's what unaonanga mimi, when it comes to time yangu nini, so ilini shape na discipline ilini shape
Means you're a
kinda.
choleric. I mean, you still do have the sanguine part because
Yes.
that's how you are.
When we decide to go wild,
Yeah,
kwanza
yeah. But
inakuanga
most
kitu
of
ingine.
the time unakwanga ule wa Choleric.
Kufuata.
So I am a choleric as well, choleric sanguine, but my sanguine outweighs my cholerism. Now he's a flag. Okay, I don't know whether people understand the
Yes.
temperaments. You're going to find out. Choleric na flag, sanguinity tunapatananga hapo iko hapo. Tuko tu
Ni
sawa.
ground.
Hiyo ndio ground yetu. Lakini sasa ikifika kwa choleric na flag, yani we really thank God for PMCC. It helped us, but also going back now to the book that we did, that the Ndoa book, when you now want to understand him better, because hiyo kitu inaweza fanya by them mkosane vibaya sana.
Bua,
Sababu,
maybe
yeah.
kuna watu wako hapa wanawatch,
Oh my
wanakosana
goodness,
juu
you
ya
guys
character.
need-
Unakuwa umenyamaza. Na unakuwa na mdomo.
Unafaa uelewe huyo mtu mwingine.
You understand their temperaments.
Yes.
And because you have to work together, God has brought you together. It's rare that you are going to be utaletewa mtu mwenye mnafanana. In fact, it is very, very rare. But you need to learn how to live with each other. In fact, that book illustrates very deeply on how, as a choleric, as a flag, as a sanguine, as a male, you should deal with the other person, or you should deal with yourself in the place of, or in the place you have been placed in the marriage. As a wife, as a choleric, how should you be able to also submit to your husband, even in your being an alpha female? Like me, I'm an alpha female, but he's still the head of the home. He's a flag. He's still the head of the home. So how do how do I submit? How do I address my issues without looking like I'm the head sasa? Sasa unajua mimi nikiga sasa sauti sasa itakaa ni kama naelewa, but the book brings you inakuleta, and also with godly values, because again we are born again Christians. We do marriage in accordance with the word of God. So it deeply explains how you are able to handle your temperament, even as a place of a wife, and even your temperament even as a place of a husband. So that way it's not atujafika hapo, it's a day to day step. Yeah, we are learning.
It's work in progress. Point is, what I'm trying to say is, I think it's basically what most of us, or everyone, has gone through high school. You've done physics. You understand the common knowledge of magnets, that like poles repel, and opposites attract. It's basically that. I don't know how people who have the same temperament are able to coexist, because I've not been in one, but I'm sure there's a way they find a balance. But at a wider glance is basically that. If you have two magnets, they will repel, especially if they are on the same side. They can never meet. They'll never meet. Hata ukizekelea wachili, they just nini. But hii ingine, hata ikiwa huku, there's a game we are playing the other day, iko na magnets, iko nini. So ukiwa karibu inazishikanisha zote. Yeah, because now the opposites attract. It's like what I'm saying. I keep saying this. It's common knowledge. Like even Noah, when he was told by God to go and take animals 2 by 2, hakuambiwa achukue ati 2 males ama 2 females. So hiyo analogy ya people gonna ati that thing can work together because it is people of the same gender, it doesn't work.
Talking of the temperaments, and we are talking about now the character. Between the two of you, who carries the emotional weight in tough season? And how do you share that burden?
The emotional burden now in our setup, I would say, she carries the emotional burden.
Huyu wa kuongea sana bado ni analia zaidi.
Yeah, yes. For example, there's a while back when we had adopted, we had pets in form of cats. Unfortunately, they caught a bug and they died. She stayed in the room for a week. Haongei, hatoki, nothing. Those are just kittens we had.
Now
in one straight week, like nothing. Ajui what's happening down there. Miguel and Namka and Shule in the same season, I think.
Serious?
I can't remember. We had nanny your time.
Too attached to pets. I even stopped getting them because it can get so bad.
Now that's an example, because also now I have seen even when Temia Madhe, what happened, the same thing. Kwa Madhe ilikuwa, I think 3 weeks, the ones I remember. Like hatoki kwa hiyo do you know, like bedroom mpaka mattress inakuwa na shimo, hatoki hapo. The only time natoka hapo ni akienda kwa washroom, shower and then come back to the same place. Hata curtains afungui. Like naingia hiyo room niko like what's happening here?
What?
But maybe I'd like to understand, how do you deal with your emotional...
Who?
You. Because me, that's how I deal with emotion.
Yes.
Like, I like to be away, to take a step back.
And I don't know whether it's
Because how did you
grief.
deal with your brothers really passing? I never saw you dealing with it.
Unfortunately, I don't think there was room for me to deal with that. There's usually not, especially as a firstborn. There was no room for me to deal with
But you know, you
the
need
situation.
to learn how to grieve.
No, just pray to God and tell God to give you grace because it's a way of life. Because now I'm looking there as it is. My mom alikuwa hapo. Maybe probably my dad was present and support. I would have had that room, but sikuwa na hiyo room, the firstborn now. My brother who was now is our lastborn, yeye ndiye alikuwa na yeye through your season. So hiyo time hata hataki kuwa around because inam remind of so many things through that phase. So mimi I'm supposed to be the strong the pillar, ni support huku kila mahali, ensure things zinaendelea. Structure. So sina hiyo room. Sina room ya kuniambia nianze kulia hapo. I don't have that room. There is no.
But you know,
nikitoka
you need
hapo,
to deal with it.
Nikitoka hapo flip the other side, I have a marriage and a boy who then was only Miguel, who expects now the dad to be there.
But
And I have a wife also who expects the husband to be there. So there's no room that is left for me there at all. Niambia ati take time out and do this. Hakuna.
Lakini
Na
nikwambie,
si vibaya.
with grief, it's so bad that it will even if 20 years later, even 50, it will still come.
But they say that grief never ends.
It
Yes,
never ends.
never ends.
Like you need
Just
to
learn
deal with it.
Just learn to make the ropes around it. Because truth is, as also like now, let me give an example. When I lost my brother, it was only Miguel. Now there are 2 boys. Now I can't take time, go back there and start now. And the Bible is very clear, like I can't go back to the dead and start asking questions. It has happened. Na si mimi, it was not my doing. I'm somebody who made a doing. By the way, if there was anything that has happened, like in a need, maybe when I continue kufuatilia kama hiyo, I would follow up on that. But that part, I have just told God to give me grace to go through it. Like you're saying, it never ends. If it catches up, at some point, you just know time, you go through it and you quickly come back to life in happen. Because huko 3 months is a whole term for Miguel who is in school. I can never go back and tell him, rudia hiyo term ulifanya.
My wife needs you.
Yes, ni come.
I agree.
Yeah, so I just have to find a way. See, not everybody I know anajua kufanya hivyo. I'm grateful to God that I know how to find that balance. But sometimes you have to also look at the future. Like, ako hapa, the boys are here. They need me more. So even if I go and stay in a forest for a month and say it's because of somebody, my shosho, my grandmother, my brother, guess what? Ukweli ni kwamba
kuna side moja itaumia.
Na hiyo ndio I need more. Because now I'll have come back and start now constructing. Because now 3 months are enough for Miguel to realize where did he go? He's not here, and strike another relationship with somebody else, ama even the mom. So could you trying to undo something that you already ulifanya bila kujua? Because ashakuwa attached to the mom, wanafanya naye homework, they go out to parties with yeye, put to bed, anamuombea. So nikirudio 3 months, so how do I begin that now? Make him now trust me again that, hey, hautaenda tena.
It also takes grace.
Yes.
And wisdom to know the difference.
Yes.
So Milka, have you ever had a moment of doubt? Like, am I enough for this person?
Obviously. I think it's an everyday thing. But what I told God is that teach me how to be a wife to my husband in accordance to your word. Like, am I doing the best? And I pray every day that I'm going to be the best of the best. Like, I give myself fully. Yani, nisijibakishie kitu. Juu sasa nabakisha nibakishie nani sasa. I am here for the long haul. Like, hakuna mahali naenda. But definitely the enemy is going to put those 2 small voices in your head. And that is where you go back to God, to the word of God, and, just to tell God to teach you. In fact, this is something I pray on almost a daily basis, that God teach me to be a wife in accordance to your word, not in accordance to how society expect you to be a wife, but in accordance to the word of God, so that you will know that you have done your best and your best. But to answer the question, yes, there's those moments of doubt, but I would call them, the enemy's voices, because now you're starting to compare yourself to the society, how the society expects you to be the wife. But hiyo sasa si ya God, because he has placed me to be here, rightfully so. Having followed all the, the steps that God has put for you, having followed all those. So what am I supposed to do? To be the best I can be for him in accordance to the word of God. What does God expect me to be? So yes.
Now that you are nyinyi ni ma celebrity and we thank God for
Jina naikataanga.
no. And we celebrate for what God is doing, even in our generation, that we are standing for marriage works. And that's why this show inaitwa Marriage Works. It's a marriage works segment. Na mko kwa limelight. How do you handle the pressure ya social media? There is a way society, kama venye amesema, kuna watu wana expect you are supposed to be holding Milka mkono. How do you handle pressure ya social media?
Do not succumb to the pressure of the world or social media or anybody. So I'm saying social media, just cut it.
How?
Don't not cut it don't consume, but do not allow it to be a part of your marriage. Don't bring it into your marriage. Am I making sense? For example, social media iko uko nje. The only way now we consume content is through our devices. So I don't need to say, by the way, babe, unajua nina watu wakisema ati I don't hold your hand when we're in tuko nje, ama I don't do ABCD.
Watu.
Yes, hiyo hao watu hiyo uko nje because ni watu sijui.
Oh yes.
Ni watu sijui. I don't know them, and even if I take what you are saying and bring it into my marriage, guess what? I don't know how to apply that, because we are supposed to find something what they call culture, like have a culture as a couple. What makes me or makes you feel that you're loved when I do it? Not because the world is saying, but because you're saying.
Rudia hiyo.
Yeah, so point is what makes you now as my spouse feel loved by me enough when I do it to you? Not what the world is saying or what is the books, what we do. It could be maybe saying that every month or every weekend we just take time and go out and have a meal. Could be even the cheapest of them, not always go to high-end hotels. Maybe once in a while do it. But that is what for me matters. Kuna time naambiwa na mtu like we have an event that we need to drive for an hour or so. So sometimes we won't even go and have serious discussions. But that time we just talk about
That
everything, and in between 1 hour kwenda hivyo is everything. So to now come back home, whatever social media is saying, in fact, don't listen to what they are saying. In fact, do you, in your wili, they should look at what you're doing and maybe say, when they say ati, you're affecting people positively, they should be able to see that. Our hallmark should be Christ. Like the Bible says that husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church.
Na wewe Milka, how do you strike the balance ya we ni mama boys, we ni Milka wa PK? There is that expectation of a super mommy, super wifey. How do you strike the balance? Na pia tunakungoja pale kwa YouTube. Na pia tunakungoja kwa stories, kwa Instagram, kwa TikTok. How do you strike that balance?
It is not easy, to be honest. It is not easy, especially kazi yetu ya content creation. Unajua watu wanadhaningi ni kuchukua tu kamera na because life is we are real people. We we are real. Things happen. There's a day we are not in talking terms with my husband. Yes, because that's marriage. There's a day Miguel amekupea pressure, because it's parenting. And that is what happens in every single home. This is what happens in every single marriage. We are not an exception. So there's days that life is happening, real life, yeah? And so we take it as it comes. Another thing I would like to say is that we are very authentic, in that we will share what we can share that is happening. Those times we are going through grief, and sometimes we share what we can share. And of course there are things that pertains maybe to a marriage that we feel we are going to keep to ourselves, because as much as we are out there, we discuss and we decide what the world sees. So sometimes tukipotea kwa social media, maybe maybe there's just something that's going on in our lives, and we feel the need to share it, we are going to share it and leave it at that. And sometimes we feel like we don't want to share it, and especially sometimes a lot when it comes to our marriage and family, some we don't share, and most we won't share. But up to the place where authenticity is involved, we are as authentic as it comes, because we are real people. These are things that happen to us in
It's only that you're on
it's real
camera.
life. It's only that now we are on camera. And so to answer your question, it is not very easy to balance. And so is every other job. For example, like you're in an 8 to 5, na maybe umefiwa or something, you're not going to be all jovial at work, and it happens to everyone. It's just that sisi tunakuanga hapa kwa kamera watu wakituona, but life happens to us, but we choose to be authentic. Kama hivyo beba anasema ati, or maybe an example umepeana ati nishike mkono tukitembea. No, those are your expectations. Hizo nyinyi endeni mshikane na you know, right? So we are not going to do it for the socials. We are not going to do anything because
leo kesho sawa.
ati anifungulie mlango. You know?
Na pia also what you something very interesting, by the way. There are things like now, for example, when we are not in talking terms, we don't need to come and bring it here. Because
For us, that doesn't
haimaanishi because you don't bring it, it does not happen. It just because I need to, because we need
Just
to
because
now.
we don't see it.
Just because you don't see
it doesn't mean
that
it doesn't happen.
We just have find a way of now. Ni sawa, I feel umenikosea, so can we sit down and
Yes.
talk about it? I don't have the privilege of saying, wait, nichukue camera. Not that moment. But when,
Guys,
but when,
imagine my wife, I'm here, I'm the one
but when
doing
it's
breakfast.
happy, but when it's a happy moment, you will whip out camera and nobody will say anything because that's how it is. I have been to family gatherings where tunaulizana, watu nasema, this is one people say. For example, tuna kwa mazishi. We spend 80,000 shillings hiring a videographer to cover that. But guess what? Today, including my grandfather, my grandmother, and my other cousins who went to tukafanya videography, we've never sat down and watched that. So what I'm trying to say is that, but Arusi, everybody is in agreement. Because when Miguel atafika age nitamtolea our wedding video and album, nitamuonyesha.
Kwanza will be glad.
Sana. So you see, because it's a happy moment. You know, the same thing. When we are having a happy moment, we are celebrating our boys, we are celebrating our anniversary, we'll quickly whip a camera and talk about that. But when we are fighting, do not expect me to say, go, wait. Action. It doesn't
Because
work.
the first thing you're thinking about, maybe in this marriage, we are thinking about how to make it better. Ni nani ako na pride issue? Shida iko wapi? I'm not thinking about cameras at that moment in time. However, this is it. We probably will talk about it in a later date when both of us are okay. We're like, by the way, ile siku kuli happen, to show people that it happened, yes, and this is how we dealt with it. Then we are being role models. Then we are, influencing people positively. Because let me tell you, in social media, I'm so sorry, guys, but it is true. The people who celebrate you are the same ones.
Atakulima.
Yeah. Ukisema ati babe nini umeenda kuandika kila kitu kwa social media, they are going to even make it even worse. Kuna watu wamengoja. It's not like we don't know, we know. There are people who are just waiting and seeing wataachana tu. Mutangoja because you'll never see us unless I don't know. But as far as we are concerned, it's our marriage first, it's our children first, it's our family first, then everything else second. We might probably talk about it, maybe ile siku ulifanya hivi, beba shaifanya hivi na hivi. But to be able to inspire a couple out there, how do you deal with it? Because this is how we deal with it. This is what we learned. So what can you learn? Because that time is coming. This is marriage.
I know.
Leo ni hivi, kesho ni hivi.
So between both of you, who is the peacemaker?
Babe, I will say.
Like
Mimi? Yes, he's the peacemaker.
You're the one.
Yeah, I'm the peacemaker.
Who tries to bring peace in that home.
Yeah. Because for me
But
now,
I've been trying, babe.
yeah, you have been trying. But I'm saying it's because
It's a
also
work in progress.
work in progress. Because as with those, sometimes I'm feeling it's not a good place to stay. when it looks like mnaishi kwa prison, it's hostile environment.
It's a
Hata
cold.
ukiona kamim huwezi share.
So hata una share anajua ama ni mimi anaambia. So inakuanga let's get hata sometimes before that tuiongelele, like let's just go back to where we were. Maybe we can talk about that later. Ndio sasa life iweze kuendelea, because everything unaona ama ukipost kitu it is any uone the good naona now brain yako in overwork. Unajua those ukionyesha ati look for 10 dancing girls. So your brain overwork. So nikaiki hivi, how can she see it? Niangalia from northwest, from southeast, like nikiangalia tunaona the wrong side of it.
Alafu naanza kucheza na watoto. Wote wawili unakuwa hapo.
It's just a horrible. So that's what we're saying. The camera is the last thing you're thinking of.
Oh yes.
Yeah, you're thinking of how can we get past this.
What is that one silent promise that you've made to each other that you'll never say it loud until today? Like watu hawajui. Like that silent promise that unajua kila watu naona I've been hosting couples here, and I can see every couple they have like their, it's like a kaandem. Sisi tulisema, sisi tunasemanga, sisi kwetu.
Yes.
What is that one promise that you will say it here on one with Kajim today?
So the one thing I know that we agreed right from when we met, not even when we got married, but when we met, is that our desire and our prayer is that we shall, we want to bring up our children and give them to the world. And that's not what is the most important thing. Is that now when we are left, me and her in the house, we shall not be strangers.
Yes.
Like we're in our old age, but we're living like the way we met maybe
Like a
40,
girlfriend and a
50
boyfriend.
years ago.
Yes.
Now that they are going to make their own homes. So for me, my desire is that we shall never fade in terms of our love, even when we are old.
Wow.
Yes, so that whatever, because everything else that we will do could be material, but that's this is how I put it. Nasamanga, no matter what happens, even today we are the Peekays, but guess what? And this is, God forbid, that we went our ways today. There's nothing that will exist, including everybody will suffer. We'll have to get rid of our house managers. We'll have to get rid of anybody who is under us, who supports now us at the Peekays to give you content, whether it's editors, whether it's videographers, even us and the children will suffer. Because so how do we agree who will be having the children over the holidays? For how many days? When do I take them and be with them? So once to may collapse, everything in Aisha. So nasemanga, we are the heartbeat of everything else around us.
Never seen
We are the heartbeat of everything else that's around us. Because everything is material. Maybe it's a property we own. Tuanda kuulizana who gets the property. If you get him to agree, then let's sell and share the proceeds. So we are the heartbeat. That one is what drives this union.
Milka,
Ni hivyo.
was that
Yeah.
promise that you told yourself that mimi hata watu waseme nini, as long as what's that promise?
Yeah, to put it in a nutshell, what he has said is one thing we used to say when we were younger in marriage. We are 7 years into marriage, by the way. We are
Hey,
going to the
congratulations.
age, yeah.
Wow.
So tulisema mlango ni moja. Ukiingia haina exit, iko tu entrance. Na sasa tushaingia hakuna exit. So whatever happens, jimjue keje tujue keje tutafanya. And also another thing is verbal, whatever it is that you say, be very careful because words are very, ikitoka imetoka, huwezi irudisha. So even, verbal diarrhea. So even when you're arguing in your most argumentative state, me personally, and also I think something that we agree, is never to say something that you will never take back. Because the words, kwa sisi wanawake, wacha niongeleshe wanawake, kwa verbal diarrhea.
Amekushikia hapa.
You know? Hata wewe.
I don't know where I got married.
How do
By
you
the
take
way,
you know?
what you're saying is very true, by the way. You may remind, because sometimes what happens is like that case I said in the beginning, or something I saw, it's there, but then it was activated later. So that thing you say, sasa in retrospect mtu kana nafikiria alisema ati by that kama angejua
kwanza akitulia ndio hizo words zi
Exactly.
ati angenioa. So which means in other words,
It can cause permanent.
yes,
It's a temporal moment, but it causes permanent damage. So be careful of the temporal things that you are doing in your permanent state. Naelewa? So especially kwa words, na mimi kwanza najua my tongue is very sharp. So even when we are in the high, I just prefer to be quiet.
Okay.
Because remember Milka, because ikifunguka hivi
inaweza ongea
coming back.
You know, I had so many options. You know, hata ni chance.
Can you imagine saying that or belittling or saying something to your husband that he can never, and especially men and their ego, and and hurting their ego, those things. Ni kitu hata itamskaa ndani.
Manzi.
Unaelewa?
Na hiyo hit usiku.
So so just ni afadhali tu nyamaze, mwambie tu just nipe time tu. Nipe tu time kidogo. Kama unajua wewe ni wa verbal diarrhea, nyamaza tu ama unywe maji.
But also pray about it.
Kunywa funda la maji, and also praying about it. I agree.
Yes.
Yeah, because me, I can say I was those ones for ninis, and also you see from the nini of your heart, so does your nini
from the
speak,
abundance of your
heart.
Mouth speaks.
Unaelewa? So also tell the Holy Spirit to work inside of you. Ndio ukifikiria hiyo mbwa ikiwa kwa kichwa ujue kuna kitu iko hata usipomuita.
That's what teacher alikuwa anatuambia. If that what comes out, yani umekuwa na mbwa mingi ndani umekosa mahali ya kukaa ikatoka.
So even when you think it, hata ukiwa umejamu kitu Milka, you need to work on yourself. Why? Hata ndani mbona
kwa hivyo ukijam unajiita Kajim.
Like Holy Spirit.
What would God do?
What would Jesus
do?
Yeah.
Wow.
So work on yourself from inside ndio you remove purity.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
By the way, acha nikuulize Milka. In a marriage setup, now that you are married, ni nini hiyo ulikuwa na expect that kwa kinandoa kuna kaanga then ukaingia ukapata kitu ingine?
Kwa kinandoa, by the way, in the first weeks, I expected, because I had I had a lot about the superwoman, the woman how is supposed to be. Mutumia gadha kuhura guo ni unanyona alikuwa kwa kazi hizi za 8 to 5 kutayarisha breakfast, wamtolea ka boxer pale to socks nini
piga kwa pasi.
Ati za bwanangu haziwezi guzwa na mtu wa kufua. Mimi chakula ya bwanangu lazima ipikwe na mimi specifically. And the whole time, the man who I am nining is, I think it was my own expectations in my head. Hana pressure. So you find out, you end up being so tired, and especially because I was working from at night. Kwa nafanya kazi usiku na nafanya 8 to 5 ya kawaida. So I was feeling so tired. I was always exhausted. And when you get exhausted, you become angry. Unakasirikia nani? Kama si
kulangi.
Hata si hivyo. Yani una overdo, yani unapiga pasi, unapika food, ni sawa food is cook, but now food ungeacha na nguo, ungeacha hizo ku polish viatu. We just focus on one thing, you cook, then we enjoy the meal. But now the time unafika jioni kupika, umeshinda huko ukiosha, ati kwa bedroom, ati unaosha, ati kuwezi kuingiwa na mtu, umefua everything, umepiga pasi, umefikiria kesho atavaa nini kesho, hii shati na hii trouser.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
it was too much. And hiyo ni expectations sasa ya kujiekea.
Nani yako?
Na yeye. They are in my head, like the African woman. I have to be the African wife. How it is supposed to be that I do it. Na kumbe mwenye unanini hata hana pressure. You call mama fua, come fua, hana pressure.
In fact, hata furaha yake ni kukuona kama hujachoka.
Nimerelax. Sasa unajua ukichoka pale hapata afanyika kwa sababu umechoka. So choose your heart. Choose kwenye unataka kuchokea.
Pike huko na expectation na venye unasikianga kwa kinandoa kwa hiyo sekta nyingine.
Amazingly, I did not have any expectation mimi.
Ai.
yeah, I did not have any expectation. The only thing I knew, and I knew for a fact, is that we will be having kama hii ni age
Hii
appropriate.
ni marriage works.
Yeah, so what I
They
knew is that
function at the
no,
junction.
what I knew is that I know we'll be making love like in a marriage setup. So that was something that was ilikuwa inani excite. For the time sikuwa najua ati ni every day nini. But now I knew that was my goal. I wanted to be na nisikue mahali naogopa ati naweza pigiwa anaweza walk out leo aende kesho anipigie niambie ama niandike message I am pregnant. Hey, isa unajua tuko sawa.
Uko safe.
Like hata unaambia watu by the way tuko kuna ball.
Uko na expectation like it happens every day.
No, imagine sikuwa nayo. Hiyo time I don't think nilikuwa nayo expectation. What I knew that we'll have it. How often or how I don't know.
The Lord saved me.
So mimi sikuwa na expectation ati ni every day.
It happened.
Hata si happen. Unajua unajiambia in your head si tukioana we'll just like I can come and say like si to have it saizi. Sawa. Not hata sabuni because hiyo ni ile hiyo sabuni na kwamba sabuni wanasema huko ya sharing. Unajua sabuni ukishare itaisha. Lakini ni ile ati unajua nikikuja home nikisikia leo nasikia nataka tu
uko na freedom.
We enjoy. Haya tufanye. Ukisikia siku asubuhi useme before niende tu
Ati tufanye. Kufanya inakaa.
So hiyo ndio ilikuwa mambo ilikuwa hivyo. So hiyo ndio ilikuwa now. That was my thinking before now. The marriage. But mambo za kupikiwa, kusaviwa, kufuliwa nguo, they were never a thing that ever crossed my mind. Anyway.
It's water.
Ebu, at that point, tell someone probably
Yes.
who is into getting into marriage.
Yes.
Now anakuanga na expectations. Guy.
So let me shock you.
Guy.
So you who is watching, you who is there getting ready to get married, planning to get married, or wanting to get married because you think that you want to fulfill something that you have in your head. Oh.
Drop it at the door.
Just at that point umesikia tu hivyo, just forget about everything else. Like in a marriage, by the way wanasemanga, in a marriage it's not always about it's not always about not always about you. In fact, it's usually about the other. The question you asked, am I good enough for the person who I'm going to get married to? For example, like if I have an issue with anger, you know what will happen if I don't tame it? I will manifest that and I bring it into our marriage and I'll manifest with you. That's why you see so many cases of unasikia mtu ati ameamka amepiga bibi yake ni kama anataka kumuona shangaa. When did it happen? Because that's something or you already had. So right now don't expect that utapigiwa pasi upangiwe nguo unamachichiwa shati na trouser na kiatu yenye unavaa na belt hadi that is but if you get and feel kama hiyo ama you feel that it's something that will a need you have kama kupangiwa nguo by the communicate it before. Like voice it. Like nikwambie babe, you know me I expect when we get married like I will not have to struggle to piece my clothes together ama kupangiwa nguo. And you now the person who is coming in, if you're okay with that then it's okay. It's like what I say, like somebody who gets in a marriage with somebody who is not of faith or somebody who is a drunkard. Ukweli ni kwamba you cannot get married and then in the marriage you come and complain to us and tell us my husband drinks a lot.
Does not come.
But even when you got married he was drinking.
Yeah.
But did you tell him akwambia okay babe I'll only be drinking on Saturday peke yake? Ukituambia hivyo na alikwambia hivyo something different. But if he was drinking and you agreed to get married to him, you know what?
You cannot reverse.
Just because you knew you deal with it, so just deal with it. So that's what I'm saying. So anybody who has expectations of whatever nature, ni mingi, just drop them. And but if you feel it's a need, like you have said, communicate, voice it out and say, I want A, B, C, D.
Also, to add on to that, in terms of expectations, drop everything that you have or you have had and come in together, lock the door, and create your own culture.
Yes.
Create your own culture. Does my husband like, me making him breakfast in the morning? And then you're going to learn each other. It's going to be so easy. Maybe in the first year, take it just to learn each other and create your own culture. The way we do things, Kajim, is not how you and Wamboi do your things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It will be so different. And never feel the need to judge how Kina Kajim do their things, how Kina Peekay do their things.
Yes.
If my husband finds it, a thing that he helps me, the baby, and wewe utakai kuona diaper, usikuje kumwambia ati ai we haueni urakuoe.
Ni kama
That's
venye
our
PK
culture.
challenge akikupikia breakfast.
You know,
And
he
mimi si
does.
mtu wa kitchen.
Wewe siwe mtu wa jikoni, but we like him to judge you and tell you, no. Maybe you can learn from me. It's a whatever. It's a thing, but it's our culture. That's how the Peekays do their things. You know,
Learn your own culture.
culture and have your own
Actually,
culture.
actually they say you create your own
Create
culture.
your own culture. Yes.
Milka, what do you think marriage taught you about love that in dating haukusoma?
Oh wow! You see the book of Corinthians. Love does not what? Can we go through that?
Keep a record
verse?
of wrong.
Yes.
Love does not keep a record of
Love
wrongs.
is patient.
Love is
Love is
patient.
kind.
Oh my
Love
God!
is
Gathoni
kind.
wanyu ni ale patience. Marriage has taught me patience. Oh my Lord! Love is kind.
Yes.
Love is all those things that nini
Kindness.
inasemanga. Sijui kama mtaweka hapo. Love all those things.
Tutaiweka hiyo.
Hey, my friend,
Yes.
marriage will teach you that about love. It does not keep record of, because utaweka mpaka lini, because one day you'll talk about that thing today and guess what, kesho itarudiwa. So ukianza kuweka record utaweka mpaka za 20 what. You know, and also teaches you the fruits of the Holy Spirit: forgiveness, kindness, patience, self-control. Hizo vitu zote you will learn them by fire, by force in marriage. And that is what God expects of us.
Yes.
When we come together as a person huyu amelelewa kivyake, mimi nimelelewa kivyake, in our adulthood we are coming together and learn and trying to marry these things that we have been taught by both homes. You will have to learn a lot about,
We have ever heard of situations watu wameoana leo wameenda honeymoon hawajarudi pamoja. And they have been dating.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think is the challenge in our today's dating? Ama ni watu they are not going deeper in questions, ama ni unakaa vizuri, you look good. What do you think is the challenge in dating?
I think ni hiyo tumeongelea just before we came here tukasema story ya expectations. You get into marriage with a lot of expectations. For example, and then you carry a lot of what the world is saying into marriage. Like nasikia ukiingia kwa marriage unafaa kuna vitu unrealistic. For example, unasikia unrealistic. Ama for example, even you understand, because sitaki kuifanya tu only material. For example, people who have a tendency of watching the X-rated movies,
Okay.
they have unrealistic expectations of how quote unquote making love or sex should be in marriage. So it's
those are
and that's just acting. Ni kama unatambia hapa, if I start coughing and sneezing here mtaniambia cut. Nimalize, then I come back. So it's money making, so it's an action. If I try and go and jump what I see Jackie Chan akifanya kwa walls, I can never do it. So my point is, people go into marriage with unrealistic expectations, and others are not unrealistic. They are not communicated. Just communicate the expectations you have. Na not ati or just kwa surface unasema ati hey, you're looking nice. No, let's be very clear. Like from what people say, like how do you expect me to reciprocate maybe love? No. Is it in form of words? Is it gifts? Is it this? How many children do you want us to have? Do we want
you
to
have that conversation when
you need to have it before, because sometimes I have seen kuna watu who are easy, but I have seen people fighting because apparently hawako agree. So tunaingia, mimi nataka watu wawili, yeye anataka 6 children, so that becomes conflict, and now we are here. So sometimes because those early stages ikianza kumanifest, una decide
ni wa church A.
me I don't want
Na wewe ni wa
6
church B.
children, so let me go my way.
Religion, all those.
Yes. And I see hiyo tu kuna ile hata haikuangi informed by religion, it's just that a way you unafeel. Mimi nataka tu wawili ndio tuwapende tuwalee vizuri.
Na unasema in terms of this conversation unapata hiyo story ya watoi, kuna historia inakujanga ya church.
Yes.
So hizi ni vitu zenye mnafaa kuagree before.
And these people, we are lucky that as we expound these discussions in what we do ndoa, and also now in being in marriage and what we were taught, I think we also sharing the wisdom ndio mkiingia, you discuss these things. Don't just go into marriage and give us a wedding for 300,000 shillings, 300, 500 million as they are saying, and then your story tusikie a month later mmeachana, because it has happened.
Yeah.
Why? Because by the way, that day wedding na watu celebrate. Now when you now leave that is your grounds,
The
marriage begins there. You need
also,
wedding too.
another thing I'd say, another thing I'd say is people don't take their vows seriously.
Oh.
Do you know those vows are tested one by one by one by one? So don't just say those vows for better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and in health, they will be tested.
What do you think about the vows? Do you think it is high time we start
take them
saying
seriously.
our vows, what you know you can do, rather than kusomewa?
But then you see the vows they give you like a snippet of the life that is going to happen, because utagonjeka at one point in time.
Yes.
Does it mean I leave you?
No.
Unless useme for richer and for health and for health, for richer and for richest, for richer. But there are some people who say that, but that's not the realness of marriage. The realness of marriage ni siku moja mtakuwa na pesa, siku ingine hamtakuwa na pesa, because that is life. The realness of marriage is that siku moja mtu anaweza pata accident, upate amekuwa kiwete. What does that mean?
Okay.
Does that mean you will leave? Does that mean I take you PK only when you're healthy is when I will get married to you? Does that mean I only love you and I'm married to you when you are at your best or when you have money? So what happens when the day you don't get money?
So if you go with that analogy with Marty, we amend the vows. Guess what? We are giving freedom for more divorces to happen. Because I will say what I want. I'll say me, I don't want
Nijimekie tu wangu to light.
staki at somebody who is not healthy. I'm staki mtu aniongelesha vibaya. So I'll say ukiniongelesha vibaya, that's enough grounds for me to live. That's why the Bible, those vows are coined in a way that they shield the marriage in all ways. Haimaanishi because bwanangu ameadmitiwa hosi. We have a friend who the husband has been in hospital for months now. Yeah. Actually, we are now in July. When we're shooting this now, aliingia hosi January of this year. It's been 7 months.
Yeah.
So does it mean that huyo mtu sababu bwanake ako hospitali
amwache
aende huko nje ati akikuwa mpoa mtaniambia nitamkujia?
In sickness and in health. Think about the vows. It's very, very serious, because guess what? They'll be tested.
What's your thinking as we come to a conclusion of this episode about marriage is equals to money? Marriage is equals to prosperity. Marriage is equals to material things.
That's a big lie. It's the biggest lie that you can never, buy into. Because the Bible is very clear. And this is not a theory. It's not something because it's written in the holy book. Me and my wife, we are a true testament of that. By the way, every time we put our efforts together towards something, we achieve it and we succeed. Wow. Because the Bible says where there's unity, God commands a blessing. And this speaks a lot, especially people who of faith. So don't come and say, because I'm coming to you because I know kuna pesa. How much do you have? Hiyo naona hizi tupelekata mwaka moja. It's nothing like that. Let's get into marriage, tuambiane now what do we want to achieve. The Bible again also is very clear, like inasemanga, I think it's in Proverbs inasemanga, ati we should leave an inheritance for our children. So we have to work so hard and ensure we get that. That's why I said money is this thing that we can get. God can give us, not get. Actually, God can give us. So God will give us opportunities to make that and live an inheritance for our children.
Also, if
kwanza uongeleshe maybe
The
your
ladies.
gender.
Wanadada.
Wanadada nasikia siku hizi kama hauna kakiru my brother, so you guys are finding yourselves lucky that mlioana kitambo. Ingekuwa mbaya struggle. But then again I ask, this is what I'm asking, how many marriages basi then would be standing if marriage is equals to money? Ours being an example, we did not begin our marriage with anything. And so is many other marriages out there. The amount of money you have does not determine the successfulness or the, the success of your marriage.
Pia mabilionea wakiachana.
Right? So kama wameachana wengi sana. So then if that was true, first of all, an example, we wouldn't be here. Hii pesa tumetafuta tukiwa hivi.
Yes.
Na tunaendelea kutafuta hata hatujafika. So 7 years later then it means that we wouldn't have a marriage. Exactly. But this is what I can say for someone who is looking into getting, you need to have a vision, you need to have a goal. Si pia tena ukuje hapa uko garagaria. Hauna goals, hauna plans, hauna future. Tukule nini? Unajua pia mapenzi hamtakula. Let's agree. But if it's a person who is determined, who has a goal, who has a future planned out together, and is really hardworking.
So you fall in love with dreams and visions.
Dreams,
of a man.
goals, and visions. Yes. And I always say, he gave me a very good vision. That day tukitembea pale kwa kupeleka wakazi.
The 3 kilometers.
The 3 kilometers. That was a very defining moment for me as a woman, because that is what I married that, which I am seeing till date. Like how he wants, and it was not even money based. He did not even talk about money. He talked about how he wants his children to be, the discipline, the just strolling in malls. Just
Then you could see it.
then I could see it, and I fell in love. That is what I fell in love with, and right now it is coming to be. He has held on to that, and he has fulfilled that vision and promise and goals.
Wow.
So it's more of goals and visions. Yeah.
I want to give
Not
an
the
example.
current.
I will not name names, but I know personally of wealthy people in this country who have gone ahead and paid off their what they call now the goat wife, like a woman who is you're married to the proper way. If you're a Masai, if you're Kalenjin, you're a Kikuyu, if you're a Luo, whatever it is. Yani unajua ule mmeona like now how we are married.
Yes.
Now I have so much money, I feel like now, because I feel like now you're a hindrance in me. Like today I can go and say, today nasikia there's a girl in Serena anataka tutende na yeye. So I pay you, how much do you want? Like I have so much money, I want to pay you. Unamlipa, nimachane. Sasa I have no obligation. Sinja kulipa. Tumachane. Sasa I can do what I want. Even if it's the HR in the office I want to go out with, I am at liberty. I know of Kisenivila too. If you have seen it in the press, you know. I will not name names because of that nature, because I don't want to nini.
Yes.
But you know what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So marriage is not equals money, because that person has money. The only thing now antaka aliwe ya kwenda nje.
There are these men who feel like si nimekujengea, si nalipa school fees, si nimekununulia gari. What else?
Exactly.
What's your take?
Not, you lose the intimacy of marriage. You lose the companionship. And why did God give Adam Eve? It was for the companionship. So you lose that. And when you lose that in marriage, then hakuna marriage hapo. You are bro seizing. When ni bro na seize.
Ama ni passport anatafuta sasa ya kuambia sasa enda.
Because then when you lose the companionship, when you lose the intimacy in marriage, then there is no marriage, it's just a shell. Ni sasa anzeni kupanga tu vitu, pack and go.
Now I know we are coming to the end, and one-on-one with Kajim is here to stay. And I know in the next 20 years we shall be even doing this more and more.
Amen.
And your sons will be watching this. What would you want them to learn about love from you?
Oh wow, a lot really.
Yeah. So I think for me, and I keep saying this, I pray and I want to be an example to now that we are parents to boys. God willing, maybe we'll be parents to girls or a girl.
Hallelujah.
Whatever akitaka akisema tufanye boys, we shall do boys, but I would want them to see me now as PK or as the husband or as their dad, how I love their mom, now my wife,
Yes.
and how I also take part in the activities that we do together. See, there's one thing I would want them to carry and take away is that, and learn to treat your, to be present in your children's life as a father, and also now loving your wife who is their mother.
So maybe I can conclude it with saying that for us it's more of visual than verbal. So our everyday life is our communication to our boys of how love is supposed to be. So we are very intentional with how even when we are fighting or arguing, we don't do it in front of our boys. Because we have a goal and a vision of what, we want to nini in their minds to impact them positively by what they are seeing. Our everyday life is our communication to them.
And even hearing. I'll
Yes.
give an example. Right now, our firstborn son, Miguel, if you ask Miguel has a tendency of saying now, because now, before I could understand, babe, why are you calling mommy babe? Why are you calling daddy babe? Now he knows. If mommy, I ever send him to go and call me, atakuja mwambie, mommy, your husband is calling you.
Calling you.
Yes.
Anasemanga hivyo.
Yes, and then babe akona tendency ya kuwaita. Sasa anaitanga my first love, now that's me, my second love, and now my third love. Sasa ukimuuliza anajuanga, who is mommy's first love? Daddy. Is mommy's second love? Me. And that love now Mateo. So already now hiyo ashajua. Ashajua kwa sawa.
Yeah.
And if there's nothing else you take from that home, achukue hiyo ni sawa, but akichukua hiyo na hata aseme anataka kuchukua everything else, gari nini, niko sawa, because I'm sure kuna kitu anajua. But I don't want to give him a car and huko nje asalimini wasichana kidogo, hi, even inaanzanga because hauna grounds. Now we'll get to a point now at age where now we'll discuss and to from foundations what the world can do to you.
Wow.
Yeah.
So really actions speak louder than words. Even for any parent that's watching, you cannot come and say, this is how you treat a woman, and yet you're beating your wife at home. So actions.
Anaambiwa ati sasa akimaliza class 8.
Yes.
This is how a woman
Na aliona all this time. And children are very bright and sharp.
That's why
from an
unaweza
age,
kukumbuka hiyo
they
kitambo.
can remember. So actions, as is actions. They speak louder than words.
Hey, sawa, tunakuja kumalizia sasa, tunataka kuingia kwa segment ya how well do you know each other. Milka.
Yes.
Piki anapenda chakula gani?
Anapenda mokimo. Kweli rongo.
Kweli wewe?
Hiyo mokimo ukinipenda anything.
Yeah.
Whether it's beef, whether it's cabbage. Mingi sana na warunda nunua. Ndio usikwe na nini.
Don't worry, this week. You're gonna get mokimo.
Milka anapenda chakula gani?
Rice. Rice is her favorite starch of all time, but now since she's on a journey, anafanya health journey, ni mtu wa salad sasa. Lakini rice.
Not true.
Why?
Because I don't have a favorite. It depends with how.
That's new.
No, that's not new. Even when do you know the nini I did on WhatsApp ile ya kuandika nini? Nilisema I don't have a favorite. Bora tu it's good food. I don't have a favorite I would kill for. Yeah.
Well,
nitakuonesha. I wrote na
even me ukiniuliza I don't have a specific food where I would
sasa nataka kuchange.
No, nasema hivyo sababu ya uki-explain hivyo kumaanisha me I would prefer, hata nikienda kwa event I would take mokimo.
Yeah, for me I just unaonanga I just try out everything. Bora tu it's good food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Milka, what is that phrase that PK anatumianga every time?
Unaona?
That she has a phrase
Yeah.
she uses every time?
It's true.
You don't have one.
Well, unless mniambie, but
So PK, if Milka today won a jackpot, real too, your, let's say like a 10 million Kenya shillings or 1 million Kenya shillings
Jehovah.
today, what is the first thing that she will buy?
Actually, the first thing that she will not actually buy. She will not buy. The first thing she will do, atakuja lete to agree what to do nayo. But if she was to do something with the money, she would take a trip. Yes, because she loves traveling. That's the first thing I think she will do.
True or false?
False. Because I would tithe first. True or false? Wewe umesahau, si ni ukweli?
Tithing, unajua
Tithe.
mambo ni ya mapenzi hapa.
Hapana.
Mambo ya
No, tuko tu. Well, you know the drill. Any money we get even before we do any our thing.
Plan.
Tithe.
Na yeye anaweza fanya nini?
Tithe also, because it's the first thing that we do as a family whenever we receive any money.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is his hidden talent?
His hidden talent.
Hidden talent tena.
Poetry. He writes very nice poems.
Oh, we don't know.
I used to do
That's
that.
why it is hidden.
Yeah, it's
But
hidden.
now since I got my wife, I no longer read.
Can you imagine him blaming me for he's not reading?
No, but okay. Then not my wife. Since I got married, marriage has a lot to do. Being a poet, you need to do a lot of reading. You need to read a lot.
But is that true or false?
That's true. It's very
Na
true.
yeye hidden talent yake ni gani?
Yeah, kuna mingi. Mara she can sing. She wanted to join TPF when she was 21. She never made it. Ikaisha. Now recently we've learned she can also plan events. And she has done successfully a couple of them. Yeah.
Yes.
But anyway,
We will work closely with her.
That was her first choice
So
career,
not...
even when akijoin campus. But I don't know what happened then. Nikampata na kwa course ingine mpaka leo sijaelewa ninafanyanga nini. So those are two. Yeah. So those two are things that a talent that she has that hajiweza kuzimaximize kutumia vizuri sana. Among others.
Wow.
Yeah, but she can also act she's a very good actress.
Very good actress.
Very good actress, yes.
Wow. Yeah. I won't ask this because ulikuwa umeuliza who is the timekeeper between both of you?
None.
No, well, I am a timekeeper, but now marriage. What is marriage?
Lakini mbona unashinda ukiblame marriage? No. You cannot keep blaming marriage.
Niliwaambia nitamwacha. But I used to go to but me I was like Kajim, I used to go to work.
But were you arriving on time even on that one? No.
That's why I was
Mara
never
mingi umefika
fired for
10.
7 years.
Walikuwa tu wanakuvumilia because they needed you.
No. Actually,
we are both bad timekeepers, babe. You know we need to work on it. And we are doing it together.
Yeah,
the reason we don't arrive
what is
early is
marriage?
because if one of us was a timekeeper tungekuwa tunafika mapema ama aje Kajim. But we are both who are in keeping time, so we arrive late all the time. Anyway, we are praying about it.
Now I want you, Milka, look at this camera and you give your final remarks.
Parting shot.
Your parting shot. And in this regard is about marriage works.
All right.
Yes, what you have known about marriage. There is someone maybe atachukua hiyo na.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm going to repeat a very cliche statement, but it is very important if you think about it.
Yeah.
Marriage works, but it is work. It is work. If you want your marriage to work, you have to put in the work. And especially spiritually, because people don't, awatiliangi manani, about the spiritual. Because once you're in marriage, you're starting a spiritual warfare. Shetani atakangi, because once you're in a marriage that works, you will have children that you are raising that will be will be in a different generation in terms of the generation they will be in. So hatakangi hivo, because ukishavunja marriage, even the children and the family is already broken. So marriage is a spiritual battle, guys. Marriage is a spiritual battle. Pray for your marriage. Pray for your husband. Pray for your wife. Have Christ as the foundation of your marriage, and it will never go wrong. Hata mkikuwa na hizo seasons, you'll be able to know from a Christian perspective, from God himself, how you're able to handle those seasons, because they will come. But when they come, you're going to be able to handle them properly because you have God as your foundation. Wow. Yes.
PK?
I'll quote what the Bible says, that husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. And wives, submit to your husbands. Once we learn that order, then everything else will fall in place. Yeah.
Thank you. That is the Peekays wenye tumekuwa nao siku ya leo. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you subscribe, you like, you comment, you share. And also tag that couple that you would like to see them here on one-on-one with Kajim. And also if you have that inspirational, that great conversation that you think we can have, our email is down here. Make sure that you email us or you text us via WhatsApp, you DM us. We are going to contact you. Until next time, my name is Kajim. Thank you so much and may God bless you. Marriage works.